Alright, this is a follow-up on my earlier video on displays. You don't have to watch the last video to understand this one at all. Let's jump right on in. EInk is a screen technology that looks almost identical to paper both in lighting, color, and reflectivity, and it's most commonly seen in e-readers such as the Amazon Kindle, the best way to read books since actual books, not sponsored. When Amazon's not underpaying workers, forcing them to pee in bottles, breaking any and all unions by firing their workers, and, manipulating the voting results of unionization elections, they also hire engineers who make some pretty cool technology. Though, contrary to popular belief, EInk was not invented by Amazon, nor were they the first to use an e-reader. That honor goes to the delightfully 90s Rocketbook. Each EInk screen is made up of a bunch of blocks in a grid that we could tentatively call pixels. For instance, that Rocketbook has a screen resolution of just 480 by 320. To see why they're not really pixels, let's zoom in and look at the construction of just one pixel. We'll name him Bob. At the top is a textured plastic film to protect what's below. So far, so good. But underneath is this big black capsule, and below that is an electromagnet. There's no source of light, and there's no crystals changing the color or darkness of that light, which is the key to its success in terms of looking like paper. Within that capsule are two things. First, an oily black substance as dark as an oil magnate's heart, that's the dye, and a bunch of bright white magnetic titanium dioxide particles within. Magnetic titanium dioxide particles, true to their name, are magnetic, and thus can be either propelled or sucked to the front or the back of the capsule using the electromagnet underneath. When the particles are pushed to the front of the capsule, the pixel is white, as the titanium dioxide pigment is blocking that black oil. And when the particles are pulled to the back of the capsule, the pixel is black as the oily black dye is now at the front. The titanium dioxide can stay in this position indefinitely because the oil is so viscous. Thus, the screen consumes a minuscule amount of energy, only sucking any juice when the screen changes. This is why EInk looks exactly like paper and has perfect viewing angles. Rather than generating light on its own, like backlit LCD, or allowing light to reflect off of the back of mirrors like a non-backlit LCD, all it does is change the color of the surface by moving pigments around. In fact, it looks so much like paper, it can almost fool you into thinking you're reading an actual book instead of giving yet more money to Amazon. Furthermore, this system of pixels is perfectly optimized for text, because each individual electromagnet doesn't just affect its own pixel, but others around it, which causes all of the text and all the edges to be smoothed. This clever technology, which grants EInk its signature look, is also the cause of all its downsides. Because the titanium dioxide particles are physically moving around in that capsule, the screen has a very low response time and takes a very long time by display standards to change images. Also, because these are actual chaotic particles, the screen needs to refresh by pulling the particles towards the back before finally pushing them back to their correct position in order to prevent ghosting. This is that black flash you see whenever you turn a page. And that's just about it. EInk is a pretty cool screen technology, and thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's a bit shorter than usual. I never do this because I hate asking people to subscribe, but I'm working on a really special, very personal, big project that means a lot to me, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed to see it when I finally finish.